Good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Parisa, and I'm a junior at Yale, and I am a youth delegate here with World Women Davos Agenda, and I am pleased to introduce our next session, which is the India Equality Moonshot, and also introduce our introducer of the session, Dr. Lokesh Aghi.
Well, Parisa, you're doing a wonderful job. But you don't need a Yale degree for this. I am, you have a country of India, 1.4 billion people, and country with a lot of history, a country with a great civilization. And role of women plays a big role, both from the religious perspective, cultural perspective, and also in the work environment. And we talked in the morning that how women participation in the workplace in India has been coming down for the last 10 years. But there's one state which has been very progressive, very focused on women's engagement. And basically, state is led by one of the most dynamic chief minister in the country, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu. And he basically sets the agenda from home to make sure that the equality and the moonshot begins at home itself. And we are delighted and honored that his equally qualified son, NARA LOKESH, who's a good friend, is here. He is a Stanford graduate, basically decided to go back and work to improve the quality of life of the citizens. And he's starting with the state of Andhra Pradesh itself. So we're delighted. Please come over and we can have that session. Thank you. Oh, yes. Please sit down here.
Ladies first.
Climb over and I will slightly move this out so we can also talk to each other aside from the audience. I'm ALINA TRABATTONI. I've moderated other sessions. It's a real honor and a privilege to have you here. Everyone's been very excited and looking forward to this talk. Now, Minister, India is emerging as a global leader in innovation, workforce transformation, and inclusive economic growth. The World Economic Forum's 2025 Global Gender Gap Report highlights that closing gender gaps remains critical, however, in India as well as in other countries, as in Europe, in terms of closing that gap for long-term competitiveness. Now, I know you're on the forefront of that, and we're all very keen to hear more about that, all the work you're doing with your team. And you are setting an excellent and powerful example, leveraging technology, education, and government's innovation to prepare youth and women in the digital economy. So I'd like to go straight to the first question, which is that India is increasingly seen as a digital and innovation leader. And how does this responsibility shape your approach to governance and to inclusive growth?
No, thank you very much for having me here. It's my first session with you. I'm really excited. It's a topic very close to my heart. I believe that women have a very important role to play in the larger society. And this is something that it's come to me because I did a walkathon across my state. So 226 days, 3,132 kilometers. I've heard numerous women, the challenges that they face at home. And that has fundamentally transformed me and has enabled me to do what I'm doing today in the education department. So coming to the question that you asked me, so technology transformation is at the cusp of our government. If you look at it, we believe that technology is a catalyst in whatever work that we do. So I'll give you an example. Skill gap is something that the world has been talking about it, and we've not found a solution to it. We have started to use conversational AI to do skill assessment. And think about it like a job portal on steroids. So you have the job portal where supply and demand aggregation happens, but then you do the skill assessment then you do the interventions required. We're not perfect. There are specific areas that require intervention. That's where conversational AI is enabling us to sort of fill that gap and enable to create a trajectory for lifelong learning. And that's what is making us very unique in that sense. And we're using a mobile phone to do it. So you don't need a desktop, you don't need a laptop, you don't need even an iPad. A smartphone is good enough. And this is going to be very, very important, especially even for women, to position themselves in the workforce and understand what are the opportunities that are out there in the state, in the country, and globally.
That's wonderful, because also costs are very low in terms of smartphones. So that, and with global growth slowing and talent gaps widening, how can India's public sector serve as a model for other countries, and especially the ones in the global south that have similar challenges as well?
India's growth is not slowing. We are only accelerating. If you look at it, we are growing at about sub 7.5%. My state is now growing at close to 10.5%. I believe that India can achieve double-digit growth. And the geopolitical crisis that we are all seeing, I believe, is a great opportunity for India to leapfrog. So we are using this as an opportunity to relook at our entire regulatory framework. We are decriminalizing all our regulations. We are looking at labor reforms, which enables women to work, even night shift, in blue-collar jobs. So we are willing to look at every reform and take that as a challenge. And that, I believe, can position India very unique. Two, the energy revolution in India is very unique to India. We are going to be energy exporters starting next year via a green ammonia project from my state. Green ammonia is going to come to Germany next year. So green revolution is happening, renewable energy revolution is happening in India. So, and these are just beginning. Across sectors, we are able to do that. So I believe India is positioned well. We have amazing demographics. So it's very important that demographic dividend is actually reaped and that we don't just leave this. So.
And you've also trained over 200,000 young people in AI and advanced technologies, using systems as also the smartphone system that you mentioned. And what's been the most impactful aspect or element of this training and of these initiatives? What are we seeing on the street, on the ground, that you can sort of see, feel, and touch as you walk around?
So one mission that we've taken is one family, one AI. So we want every member in the family to be trained in AI or create use cases for AI. So this is a mission mode that we've taken. We're working with our global partners to roll this out. But the true impact is actually happening in agriculture, where our entire irrigation network, the entire water network is now sensorized. We know how much water is where and how do we move water cost effectively. And then couple this with agriculture, where we're able to do pest prediction, price prediction, and we're able to give input to our farmers on crop diversification. And that's the true impact that I believe at the grassroots level we're able to create.
That you can see and you see day by day. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And women's participation, though, in STEM and entrepreneurship remains underrepresented in your region, in Andhra Pradesh, as in India, as in many areas around the world, Europe as well. And how is Andhra Pradesh creating systemic opportunities for women to thrive and enter this part of the economy?
So, in the opening remarks, it was said that it all starts at home. And this is something that I truly believe, and my leadership truly believes in it. So even simple things like, in textbooks, we have household chore pictures for first graders and second graders. So when I became the minister, all the pictures were about women doing household chores. The next year, we changed it to 50-50. We said we're equal. Because that's what Brahmani and I, my wife and I, followed when we were in the US. It might sound very simple, but this is a clear messaging to society at large that we are equal and we need to be empowered to do what we want to do. So these are steps that we're taking as a state. This is one part. The second part is there are sectors that women excel And that's where we're using skill development to focus and expose them to opportunities in my state, in my country, and globally. So healthcare is a great opportunity. So we are exposing to that, and they're understanding where our opportunity is. So this, I believe, is just the beginning. As a state, we are a tad bit better than the national average, but I believe that it's just the beginning. There has to be greater involvement of women in STEM, in the workforce. And though it's an electoral promise, I believe it's a very powerful one. In my state, women can travel free in public transportation. It might sound as an electoral promise to all the Indians here, but it's a very powerful one. We've studied this, we have seen its impact. It's improved women participation in workforce by 2x. And I believe this is just the beginning. Mobility is going to be very, very important. So we are taking such steps also to enable this. And then the labor reforms that I just shared. And I was surprised to know that there's a restriction that women cannot work at night. It's actually a restriction. We've changed that. We said now you can choose as long as safeguards are in place, the women feel secure, and there's transportation to ensure that they can get home safe. It's done.
These are all very powerful messages, even visually powerful, the one of the textbooks, and, starting from a very young age. So very powerful. And how is your state addressing the future skills gap, particularly for young women entering the technology and innovation sector? We touched on this a bit as well, but could you give us some more background and detailed information on it?
So we've started this entire idea because we made an electoral promise that we're going to do skill census. So like a visionary leader, my chief minister makes a promise and then he leaves it to me, all of the other youngsters to actually execute it. So I tried the traditional way and it failed, I'm admitting. In my own constituency, I tried skill census and I fell flat. That's when it got us started on the entire skill assessment using conversational AI that I just shared. And this is a very powerful tool. So you can do it at home. So they don't need to go out. They don't need access to a computer or an iPad. And think about it, as I said, it's a job portal on steroids, supply and demand aggregation. And while coming here, I was having a chat with my secretary in the car. And we've taken a target that 100,000 people, I'd like to repeat, 100,000 people are going to be recruited using this platform in the next 6 months alone. So that's the power that this platform actually has. And that's where, again, women, it becomes easy, accessible, transparent. And we're also using a conversational AI to prepare them for interviews. Because for majority of them, it's first time they're doing an interview. So using conversational AI to identify their areas of weakness, how can they improve interviews so that they have equal access to the marketplace.
And is it employment in your state, nationwide, internationally? Will it be something that's rolled out and expanded?
Demand is aggregated globally. So we don't look at barriers. So it's a global, but it's open to our citizens, and I believe that it's the beginning. I've shared this experiment with my counterpart in Government of India, and he was really excited. He said, India is hosting the next AI summit in Feb. So they said, get it done by then, show the model to the world, and let's roll it out to the nation. So I think we are really excited about that.
Well, I guess all eyes will be on the next AI summit in India on this one for sure. Now, Minister, how can global companies contribute to building India's digital economy while promoting gender equality and social impact, of course, because that's essential?
See, India has a scale that you get nowhere else, and the markets are so open and accessible. But same time, India is an exceptionally challenging environment to compete because we don't leave much money on the table. So it's a hyper-competitive marketplace, but it has scale that no one else can offer. So if you can build a product for India, then you can conquer the world. And a great example of this is how we have created our own version of Visa/MasterCard/American Express, which is our UPI payment gateway using QR code with zero cost. Zero cost. It's a very powerful innovation that we've been able to do as a nation. And we have this unique identity system which is powered by biometrics, again unique to India. So these are platforms that I believe that global technology companies can use and create products and services for Indians. And in the IT space, women do exceptionally well. They are quite well represented already. And I believe this is just the beginning in that sense.
Can I ask you for some figures on that? What percentage of the IT employment is female?
In the programming level, it's now close to anywhere between 25 to 30%.
Wow, that's impressive.
And I believe that this is just the beginning. And I believe it should be 50-50.
Impressive.
Right.
Impressive. Yeah. So what measures are being taken to make Andhra Pradesh's workforce and economy resilient to AI disruption and technological shifts? Because everything is speeding up so quickly that we can expect anything at the speed of light, really.
No, so every industrial revolution has created more jobs than it has displaced, but it's created in economies that have embraced that industrial revolution. So I believe that India should embrace, and the role of an education ministry is equally now become more and more centered to this. So it could be AI, it could be quantum, it could be machine learning. So as long as we ensure that our curriculum is out there and we are exposing our citizens to technologies and we're able to open up their minds to it, I think that kind of either we embrace it or we're going to be replaced. That's for sure. So as a state and as a nation, we've decided to embrace AI. And I believe this is going to be critical. But yes, we are living in very exciting times, both geopolitically and technologically.
Yes, I agree. And looking forward to 2030 and beyond that date, which initiative gives you the greatest optimism for achieving the equality moonshot in India?
I don't believe it's a moonshot. I believe that India should deliver. If India wants to be a developed country, as the Honorable Prime Minister has set out a target, women are going to play a very, very important role. I mean, there are enough of statistics to say if women enrollment in the workforce is double, then economy increases by 4x. The growth is 4x. There's enough of statistics globally, right? So we have to work on it. We have to have a very systemic approach to it. Labor reforms, which is a state subject, I think different states have to embrace it and give opportunities, equal opportunities to women to participate, number one. Number two, I cannot emphasize, coming from an Indian context, that we should not stereotype things. This is something I'm fighting in my own state. I talk about it day in, day out. In any public meeting also. It could be 500 people, it could be 500,000 people in that meeting. I talk about it, that we should not gender stereotype. So in India, in my state and more so in India also, they keep saying that, are you wearing bangles? Or don't behave like a girl. Don't cry like a girl. I say, and this is something I'm fighting against. I believe that this is not right, and this is something that all of us need to talk about it. And I keep telling all the girls in my state, if anyone says this at home, challenge them. Challenge that person. And we should talk about it. I believe politicians should talk about it. And only then real change can happen. I mean, these might seem very simple steps, but I truly believe that these are very, very powerful steps for a nation like India.
Very powerful, and I think lots of countries around the world could benefit from policies and attitudes like this. Minister, it's been a real pleasure and a real honor to have you here with us. It's been very interesting to hear your insight and what's happening in your region, in your state. All very impressive. Thank you very much, and a round of applause to the Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.